this annoyance with you. I'm an hour from where I'm going to stop for the night. It's getting dark. The weather's closing around me, and I could have probably made the truck stop I was headed for before dark. But this mandatory half-hour break has kicked in. So here I sit in the middle of nowhere for a half an hour doing this stupid break. And I'll be ready to go again when it's dark and when the weather's closed around me a little more. There's nothing safe about that. So the problem I have with that is they've taken the judgment and training and years of experience out of the driver's hands and given it to someone behind a desk who makes up rules for a living. That's not right. And there's all sorts of times that this happens, and this mandatory half-hour break should be at the driver's discretion. For instance, there's no need for it for me for this evening when I'm an hour away from where I'm stopping anyway. But rules are rules, and they got lots of stupid rules. So, oh God, here's a Swift driver backing in beside me. I'll be lucky if he doesn't peel the side out of my truck. Anyway, that's my gripe for tonight. I'm sitting here wasting a half hour just to make somebody happy in Washington. It's ridiculous. Good morning, Big Strappers. Well, this morning I'm heading back up into Toronto, Canada. I've been down into Chicago and unloaded and reloaded. Now I'm heading for Toronto. It's been an interesting couple of days. I lost a couple hours in customs coming down into the States with faulty customs paperwork. I lost a couple hours because my electronic logging device developed a glitch, and I had to sit on the side of the road while the company that I work for tried to correct the problem in conjunction with PeopleNet. And then I spent 4 hours at the customer in Chicago loading. So between those 2 days, there's an 8-hour period where I'm going to have to chase being paid by the hour, or demurrage as some people call it, because for those 8 hours I was on duty for the company and wasn't getting paid by the mile, yet I'm still at their mercy. So this company, like most companies, it's always a challenge to get demurrage out of them, because they want to know, well, you know, whose fault is it, so we can charge it to them. And you know, if they can charge it to the customer, great. If it's the kind of customer that'll pay demurrage, and if it's something that companies has at fault that cost me the time, such as the flaw in the electronic logging device, well, that comes out of the company's pocket. They don't like to pay that either. So, and as well, the customs paperwork flaw, also a company error created by a new dispatcher. So it'll be a challenge to get paid for those 8 hours. Now that just shows you that's in a 2-day period. I accumulated 8 hours like that. 8 hours is the average working day for most people. And so there's an average working guy's pay for 1 day that for me is in question as to whether or not I'll be able to collect it. And that's just not right. You know, that shouldn't even be an issue. It's obvious you were there working and putting in your time for the betterment of the company. You weren't there because you wanted to be there. I wasn't stuck in customs because of anything I did wrong. It's not my fault the electronic log's screwed up. It's their system. And it's not my fault the customer took 4 hours to walk the trail. So it's easily justified. There's 8 hours there that I need to be compensated for, and that's going to be a bit of a battle, and that shouldn't be a battle, shouldn't even be a question. So there's, and there's, a few hurdles I have to tackle. Now the company now likes everything by emails. So now I have to email the dispatcher and the company manager messages and explanations and times involved. I'll be emailing for an hour because the system is you punch in one key at a time on PeopleNet to send an email. So that's, there's an hour shot for me. I should be able to bill them for the hour I spent trying to email them rather than discuss it on the phone. On the phone it would take me 5 minutes, but not through the system that they've got developed here. So just thinking about it aggravates me. Anyway, on to different things. I got a call the other day from a friend of mine named Jamie. Jamie and I used to run produce off the coast together, and he called to say that he sold his 359. Now the 359's an old Peep, and he had this old Peep, just an immaculate truck, just in beautiful shape. Big 300-inch wheelbase truck, and he decided he wasn't going to go back into trucking. He's kind of given up on it. He's sold his truck, and he's gone into construction work. And there's just another guy that's discovered he can make better money doing construction or something like that when he home every night. And there's a guy that's been around the industry for years that's just saying, you know what, it just doesn't pay enough anymore. I'm selling my truck and I'm going to get a day job. And it's kind of a shame to see the old guys like that get out of the business, and all sorts of them are, it's kind of a sad day, especially for me personally, to think, well, there's one more friend that now has left the road, and honestly, I don't have too many more left that still drive a truck anymore for a living. They're all about my age. They've all pretty much packed it in, and there's another one. Kind of a loss for me personally, and a loss for the industry as a whole. There goes a fine driver off to do something else because the money wasn't good enough anymore. So it's the state of the industry, I guess. On the bright, exciting side, I'm going to stop up here at the Pilot for a coffee before I cross the border. I was in a Pilot the other day down by Chicago, and I see they've got all new coffee cups. That's pretty exciting. I should have saved it here so I could show you, but maybe I'll think of it to put the next one on camera. And part of their new makeover and upgrade image is to change all their coffee cups. So we'll see if that works for them. Because it's certainly something I would never thought of, to change their coffee cups to a brave new look, but whatever they think's going to work for them, I guess. They're having a mandatory safety meeting Friday that they're insistent that I attend. So if they continue to insist that I attend this meeting, that'll cost me money. That'll cost me a trip, because it's time when I could have been moving instead of sitting in some room watching a safety moving, which I'm almost for sure this safety meeting will prove to be a waste of time. Generally, they pretty much are. It's very rare they come up with anything new in safety meetings. And anybody that's been on the road 10 years or more hasn't encountered it a half a dozen times or doesn't already know. So I'm sure it'll be a waste of time and a loss of money, but this may be something that's mandated, that they have to have these safety meetings every once in a while. I'm not sure. There'll be a couple hours just straight out the window and in the garbage can. I'm all for safety. I'm a big advocate of safety. But what the companies consider safety, presenting in one of these practices, we're in complete disagreement on that. You know, I would say, well, a good safety practice is not go into an area that you're unfamiliar with after dark, or get off the road in the event of an imminent storm that's going to be quite bad. Those are things I would think would be good safety moves. The company, on the other hand, thinks good safety moves are obeying the electronic logbook to the letter. And even though it may put you in a bad position traffic-wise or weather-wise or whatever, to obey the electronic log, whether it puts you in jeopardy or not, to obey the electronic log and things like that. And you know, truly, that's not safety. That's the insurance company's agenda. So we have a difference of opinion about that. So we'll see if they end up forcing me to attend this safety meeting. So other than that, we're lucky. The weather hasn't closed in on us here for the last couple of days. The driving's been fairly good. And I dodged the traffic in and out of Chicago, and that's always good. So we'll keep on trucking and we'll keep you posted.